It's still going on. We still putting on like cologne, man. This ain't the biggest, man. This is one that's bigger than the program, man. Yeah, it just, ain't shit changed but the environment, man. We got new music on the way. This shit for the fans. This shit for everybody who been waiting. This shit supposed to been out. We don't give a fuck about what no nigga got to say, what no nigga think they know what's going on, especially the internet. Yeah, this shit ain't nothing some small to a giant, man. It's a pebble to a giant, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna shake back. Ain't about how you trip up or how you stumble or how you fall. It's always how you get back up. Everybody can't just get back up like a nigga like. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna shake back. You know that. I'm gonna shake back. You know how this shit go. Tag me and everything. Yeah, go live to this shit. Slide in them car, whatever y'all on. You know what I'm saying? Run this shit up, get us to number 1. We got more shit in store. I got this shit overload. I told y'all this shit been ready. Like however this shit gonna go, nigga, you know what the fuck chopping. Big Bird. What the fuck chopping, man.
Yeah, so he's saying that he's basically saying he cares about the fan, and that is why he's putting out his music. Okay, it's not nothing about what had transpired with him and Gucci Man. Okay, that's what he's saying. He's saying this is for the fans. He knows that we love his music. He just came out of prison the other day and he had dropped his first day out song, FDO. FDO, first day out, walk out of fade, rumped out of jail, walked out of rumped out of bunk paid. You know what I'm saying? I've been rocking to it this morning too. That song has garnered over 80 million views. You know what I'm saying? Um, Yo, it's crazy. FDO, Pooh Shiesty. Let's see how many views it's has amassed. The music video, 84 mil. It's just 7 months. And I mean it had flew all the way up to like 30 mil in just a few days. That was crazy, and this song is so long. All of Pooh Shiesty's songs are very lengthy, and people actually listen them all the way out regularly, consistently, oftenly. You know what I'm saying? Like me, just like me, right? Because there's so many you know valid information. His style of bringing across the things he be saying, and it's just one of a kind. Yeah. Hey, yeah, my people, them are evil, them some evil, me evil, but don't believe it, we don't believe. They cannot reason, you zait. Yeah, my people, how you doing, how you feeling? So much things going on out here, man. But you know what? Pooh Shiesty is blessed because every time he speaks, despite all the noise that's going on all around the internet and in the world, such as the Nolan Xavier Wells case, that these racist white folks are doing every possibly thing to avoid being charged and being held accountable. But this is blessing for Pooh Shiesty, as it goes to show that despite whatever loud uproar is going on, once Pooh Shiesty decide to open his mouth or share his thought or just a post, it's gonna blow, right? And that's blessing. People are always attentive and is, interested in listening to what Pooh Shiesty's got to say. Now, ever since Pooh Shiesty had dropped his new and latest album, right, that was inspired by Pac, the most famous and legendary Tupac, whose career in life was short lived. However, with the short time that he had, you have managed to become this major mega star. You know what I'm saying? This Gucci Man thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because Gucci Man, the problem and the nucleus of the problem is in the contract. Okay? It's in the contract. So that will always be the problem, the contract. And that is what Pooh Shiesty was forced to try to fix. Okay? And it's just like black people problem with these white racists, right? The problem needs to fix. So until black people fix the problem so that white racist cops and white racist folks like the Karen and the Darren They can stop assault the black people, innocent black people we're talking about, right? That are being targeted, being unalive, just like Nolan Xavier Wells. And then these evil other white folks like the judge Ashley Cole, she tried everything in her powers to cover it up because she's protecting her son, who is possibly who is probably guilty of unaliving Nolan, right? And there's so much. The football player Bart, right? He is also a main possible suspect of being the one who unalive Nolan, right? But the thing is, the similarity with this black people and racist white people thing in America, right? That is related to this case here with Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Man and the contract. Now, just as how the black people can take these racist white folks who are guilty of targeting them, assaulting them unfairly and unlawfully, right? And black people can win in court and be awarded a lot of money for their experiences or the occurrence and events that they had underwent from these racist white pigs or racist pigs or any pig, because sometimes black pigs target their own black people unlawfully and harm them. So it's just like that racist core of problem in America. Until we fix that, then there'll always be a problem. Black people is not safe. Your kids is not safe. And if you do love your kids, then you shouldn't be waiting on the court to get justice. You should seek justice some other way so that all white people can see that and, know how black people come in. You know what I'm saying? Until that is fixed, the core racist problem why everyone hate on black people there in America and other places in the world. Now, that is the same contract problem, right? And I be telling black people that they need to start target all of these pigs and everyone who is exposed on targeting black people, right? I made it clear that black people need to hunt these people down who get exposed, find their residence and drag them out of their house, and y'all need to unalive them in front of even their own family so that white racist folks, Asian racist folks, and all the racist folks who hate black people can know the consequences, because the racist problem will still be there if you continuously go into the court and expect to be rewarded getting a payout, right? Because you can just got your payout, you will just get your payout and you're driving home with your payout, right? For you just received an award because your son had been unalive unlawfully by some pigs, and you just got the money and you're driving out, right? And the next pig come unalive you. And now this pig that may unalive you, he may get off scotch-free, right? He may just get off scotch-free, right? We are not even sure that these Bart niggas and these Horn Island white racists and the blacks who sold out Nolan, right? I'm not even sure that they're going to get prosecuted. That they should face the judge. You know what I'm saying? They should face prison time for covering up all these things and lying, right? They're exposed being lying. Okay? So we're definitely not sure of justice being served, especially there in America, right? So Pooh Shiesty will never be sure about, you know, having freedom from that contract, or but he's doing his music for us as the people, and that is what he's saying. So the similarity with the case is that the core problem is racist being exercised, and it seems as if it is being promoted by the system. Like the cops are trained to be racist and look for black people. They train them, right? And even though we see they pay and they will suspend and they will fire these policemen, and a lot of times they don't fire them. Sometimes they remove them. Sometimes they put them back in the streets. You know what I'm saying? For them to do the same thing again. So until black people do what Pooh Shiesty had done to Gucci Man to fix the contract, then that is when y'all may just get enough respect from white people so they could stop F with you. Because the court is not there to help you. The court has been handling these issues from decades, century ago. So why haven't it changed? When will black people go and fix the problem themselves instead of expecting the court and waiting on the court? Right? You black people have been trained like dogs to be the white man's best friend. You black people were trained like dogs to sit, stand, Bark. Don't bark. Put your hands behind your back. You know what I'm saying? You black people were trained to believe that anger should not be expressed because it's the only emotion we should not use. Right? You black people were trained to not express anger because it's wrong. So if it's wrong, why were we made in God's image and likeness? God's likeness to use anger because God gets angry too at mankind and punish us, and he will wipe out and eliminate a lot of people from history. So sometimes we have to express anger and wipe away a lot of people. You know, look at what the white kids do. They shoot up a school. You know what I'm saying? That's like them expressing their anger. But a lot of time we know it's not anger that, well, they are anger at the wrong reason because they just may hate black people that it isn't provoking them. You know what I'm saying? And they shoot up a lot of innocent in the school. So that's sort of different, you know, because they be hating for the wrong reason. I mean, if you're being provoked by a certain black people and a kid want to go and shoot them up, then I won't really have much to say but to try to find out what was it that these black kids do, because we've seen video with black people just running down on innocent white folks and hurting them. We've seen a lot of male fighting with female, hurting them. You know what I'm saying? And that's just weird, bro. Jumping, stomping on them. America have some real messed up black people. I ain't gonna lie, some real messed up black people are there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but there are people out there that we can exercise and we should exercise violence on. And it's like people who are covering up all the evidence and hiding the truth about the Nolan Xavier Well case. If y'all want to go exercise some violence, those are the ones you should be targeting. You know, and these pigs that are targeting innocent black people, right? Those are the ones we should go and exercise violence on. Just as we've seen Pooh Shiesty exercising violence on um Gucci Man. But as I said, Pooh Shiesty never intended to hurt Gucci Man, but he only prepared for the worst. And nothing is wrong with that, to prepare for the worst. He brought enough friends and he brought some gats. Okay? Now, if he should be punished for having guns around him, right? Because we never seen the video with Pooh Shiesty having any guns. We seen one of his members having a gun. You know what I'm saying? So if they want to charge him for that, then charge him for that. But don't go charging him for robbing and kidnapping and giving him this long, lengthy sentence that doesn't make sense, right? Because the core problem is that contract. It's always going to be a problem. But because Pooh Shiesty love his fans, why he released the album and it's possibly under 1017 that is owned by Gucci Man and ran by Gucci Man. So I'm gonna make a part two because I already spoke too long on this. You know what I'm saying?
They think they know what's going on, especially the internet. This shit ain't nothing some small to a giant, man. It's a pebble to a giant, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna say back ain't about how you trip up or how you stumble or how you fall. It's always how you get back up. You know, everybody can't just get back up like a nigga like. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna shake back. You know that? I'm gonna shake back. You know how this shit go. Tag me and everything. Yeah, go live to this shit, slide in them car, whatever y'all on, you know what I'm saying? Run this shit up, get us to number one. We got more shit in store, you know. I got this shit overload. I told y'all this shit been ready. Like however this shit gonna go, nigga, you know what the fuck chopping. Big Bird. Know what the fuck chopping, man. You know this shit still going on. We still putting on like cologne, man.
Yeah, man, free Pooh Shiesty, man. And I ain't even no lawyer, but I've been blessed to have a high level of sense and intelligence. And you know, I hope that these lawyers have a much higher level of sense and intelligence, the ones that are defending Pooh Shiesty. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we've seen these white lawyers who people claim to be some of the greatest. They lose some of the seemingly easiest court cases that they are representing black people when they are representing black people. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm still a bit worried, but I strongly believe that Pooh Shiesty will be freed because, you know, the universe, how it works. I know how it works, how it speaks. You know what I'm saying? And little Durkio should be coming home soon, you know? Yeah, free little Durkio and free Pooh Shiesty. Free them both, you know? Yeah. Big shout out to Big 30, Pooh Shiesty, Dad, Papa Shiesty, and shout out to his mom, Mama Shiesty. Shout out to all them Chicagonians. Shout out to Pooh Shiesty and the entire Memphis. We got Memphis out there on the map, boy. Right now, people be talking about Memphis as they used to talking about Chicago and Von and Dirk was, up there and stuck there. So I'm saying, so I'm gonna end this right now and I'm gonna make a part two because I've been saying too long on this one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what is that? Pooh Shiesty doesn't deserve to serve any long period of time. You know what I'm saying? And he should be free by now too. Hopefully they hurry up and sort out his case because there's nothing wrong with rappers promoting evil because evil is something that good people have to do. Because if you're thinking that you're doing good, befriending all your enemies, the people who try to unalive you, but you want to be like God, or play God in the eyes of the people, like our dancehall queen now, who is known to be Spice, right? I'm sure a lot of y'all foreigners hear about Spice and see her from the love and hip hop thing over the years, right? Now she has this tendency of trying to speak nice on camera about people who have done bad, because to me, I I strongly believe that she is playing in the people's faces, and a lot of people do this. It's not just her because they want to show themselves as some God type, loving type, peaceful type. But we know the people who Spice really don't like, and she would never say nothing nice about them, right? But she'll say things nice about other evil people on camera, right? And then she'll say, like, forgive them and you must forgive them. But we know you won't forgive RT Boss, Spice. We know you don't speak nice and congratulate Shensia when she should be applauded. But Spice came out applauding CJ Millen, who disrespected Vibes Cartel, the same Vibes Cartel who did her show Phil Barclay Center back to back to back, like 2 to 3 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? And she is now working with some new artists who seems to not have the capability of doing that. She tried to work with Vibes Cartel enemy Alkaline. Okay, this is CJ Millen, right? Now CJ Millen tried to do the same thing with Alkaline, keeping back-to-back show with him at the Barclays Center, and he failed. She had to cancel the other Alkaline show. He did one night and it was a success for them, but he failed to do it with her like how she had done it with Vibes Cartel. And she is throwing a lot of shades at Vibes Cartel and his fans. You know what I'm saying? And now CJ Millen, the promoter girl, we call her a man royal. She is now trying to have Masika, another new artist who has been in the business for almost 15 years or more. No, more than 15 years. About that, he's been getting regular radio spin in 2010, from 2010, but he's slow, right? He failed to understand the music and to master it. But now CJ Millen as doing business with Massacre. And Massacre have recently disrespected Vibes Cartel, right? And Vibes Cartel never disrespected no one, okay? Especially since Vibes Cartel has been free from prison. He has been just promoting God and doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? Paying no one any attention, and he ain't showing no hate to no one. So that is why we have to go hard for Vibes Cartel when these dirty new artists like Mosquito, who fail and who is so slow to master the music and who is just getting his little moment, his little 15 minutes of fame in the game. Okay? He violated, disrespected Vibes Cartel, right? Disrespected Vibes Cartel mom and all of that, right? And now CJ Millen, she is disrespecting Vibes Cartel too, right? And his fans, right? Because we are disrespecting Massacre for disrespecting Vibes Cartel, and she don't like that. And she's making it seem as if we're the bad ones, when Massacre is the bad one for disrespecting Vibes Cartel, who never had done him anything, right? And this is how the world come at Vibes Cartel. They don't like when he's being defended, or they don't like when he defend himself. But it's okay for everybody to disrespect him in their view. And it's similar now to Pooh Shiesty. Like in his latest release song, Last Man Breathing, that he had remake of Tupac song Last Motherfucker Breathing. In Pooh Shiesty song Last Man Breathing, he made it clear at one of the bars where he said that he said if they won't um get him a shank or a knife to protect himself in prison, he's coming out like a Dan. You know what I'm saying? And then in his other line, he's saying that you wouldn't be able to relate to that bar unless you had been in the pen, you know? So he's saying that you won't, if you won't get him a shank in prison or a knife, then he coming out like a Dan. We don't know what that means until we've been in the pen, right? So Pooh Shiesty, that's what I'm telling you. Like Pooh Shiesty is the only one who is so intelligent that knows how to implicate everything that that surrounds him into his song. Like most of the other rappers are dumb. They just want fame, so they write few rhymes. But Pooh Shiesty, his brain is different. He's more intelligent, and that's what sets the likes of Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. apart from, you know what I'm saying, like 90% of the other entertainers. So shout out to them, the greatest, some of the greatest legend. And you can't say legend and not mention Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, or Michael B. Jordan. I'm saying? There's so many black stars that, they're the real celebrities. So yeah, so ever since Pusha T had released his latest album, right, just like 2 days ago, over the weekend, was it? Or Friday, I believe. And all the songs are amazing. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to them like right through. And I did my vlog. I covered a almost like it's a hour and a half vlog on just one of his songs, the song that is called Last Mother no, it's called Last Man Breathing, but it's a remake of Tupac's song that was released 2001 that is titled Last Mother Breathing. However, Pusha T had adjusted his title and call it Last Man Breathing because he'll be the last man breathing. I always brag and boast about how much Pooh Shiesty is blessed and is chosen, because when you're out on the battlefield with gun blazing and you're up against all these restriction of laws and court cases and the streets, we've seen a lot of rapper going out sadly. One of my favorite who had passed in the year 2024, like 2 years ago, Julio Fulio. We love you, bro. Young Dolph, PNB Rock. Those are some of my favorites, who I've lost and we have lost to the crime, gun violence, and they're gangsters, but they're good gangsters, you know what I'm saying? All of them that had gone are good gangsters, and that is why you have to, as a good person and a good gangster, you have to develop some traits of a zero tolerance character. Like sometimes you just gotta do evil as a good person to make it out alive, because the evil people, they're plotting against you. You know what I'm saying? So as a good gangster, Pooh Shiesty, he has definitely been protected and been blessed to, become so respected and being real. Him being real is what sets him apart from all the other rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like King Von came and did his thing, and he achieved success at a very great level, for his short period of time in the game. Shout out to Little Dirk. Free Little Dirk. He will be free, and I always say this too. I believe he'll be free, just like I've been saying Free Vibes Cartel for the 13 years almost he was incarcerated for, you know. And I know how to read the signs and wonders of the universe and the time, and that is why I choose to start my YouTube channel, because there's a lot of things I wouldn't even choose to say predicted, because it's more like a having an understanding of how the universe works from I was smaller. So when I see certain signs, I'm very sure that things are going to go the way that I say it will, because it's not nothing new for me to develop this sort of understanding being on that frequency of the universe, because the universe is like a radio station and you got to tune in to a certain or particular frequency, right? Because it reveals things to us, just as it had been doing for the wise men who the Bible speak about, the three wise men. You know what I'm saying? They knew a lot of things before that happened because they're signs, and you got to know history, the present time, to know the future. Okay, so let's get into this post here. It was post from College Kid, and this is like one of the first posts that came out ever since Pooh Shiesty had just recently dropped his banging album. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about Gucci Man and what's going down, because they're saying that Gucci Man had, signed off to releasing Pooh Shiesty's album because he signed under Gucci Man label, 1017 record label, right? And they're saying that Pooh Shiesty's album was released under that label, right? His album that he did, that pay homage to Tupac, right? Because the album is called All Eyes on Shiest, which we know for Shiesty, Pooh Shiesty. And for those who doesn't know, Shiesty means to be cunning like a snake, to snake your friends. And I know that that would be negative, right? Or seem negative, but he doesn't snake his friends. You know what I mean? He snake other people, because that's what gangster thing is about. It's about surviving as a black person, right? Having no resources and playing the gangster game, which all is fair in love and war. So it doesn't matter what you do to get that girl that you love, who is married or who is with another guy, right? No matter what you do to get her, it's all fair. It's a fair game. Once we're talking about love, and we're talking about in the gangster world, because we were kidnapped from Africa, came here, and there's history that gives details that not all Africans were kidnapped from Africa, but some of us were here long before even the white men. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. But I mean, like, being in a country with no resources as a black man, right? You may have to steal if you ain't getting no help. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that, you know, you don't have anything. So you may just have to steal something, to start something. A lot of people resort to that. I wouldn't choose to resort to that, because I'm more mature now. Maybe if I was younger and wasn't that wise. So sometimes you got to look at the gangster life differently, because as I said in my vlog about that I covered about Pooh Shiesty's song Last Man Breathing, right? Which is a cover of Tupac's song from 2001 that's is titled Last Motherfucker Breathing, okay? Now in the review I did on Pooh Shiesty's song, right? I made it clear that I made it clear that Pooh Shiesty is I made it clear that he's a good gangster, right? And he had to sort out. He had robbed Gucci Man, right? He had robbed Gucci Man because his record his contract that he signed, right? That Gucci Man presented to him is filled with flaws. Like, I'm gonna show it to y'all what's in the contract, and I already made it clear that Pooh Shiesty had all right to do what he had done, right? To fix things so that he could get a better pay from his successful music that he makes, right? Because the vlogs are saying that Atlantic Record or Universal Record, whosoever has Gucci Man with them, that is a part of this contract here with Pooh Shiesty, because Gucci Man, he isn't really the big boss. They're saying that the big boss and the big organization that Gucci Man is with, right, is either Atlantic Record or Universal Record, which would be Sony, right? Universal is owned by Sony. Um, yeah, so people are saying that Gucci Mane still gets a cut from Pooh Shiesty album and all his earnings. You know what I'm saying? And also the big record label, whether it's Atlantic Record or Universal Record, they have to get a cut. And people believe that they're getting a bigger cut from Pooh Shiesty's music than what Gucci Man is getting, right? We'll definitely look into that though, but for now, let's get into this, and see what it says. So as you see that at the top here, it reads, okay, that Pooh Shiesty speaks publicly for the first time since his arrest for allegedly robbing and kidnapping Gucci Mane to promote new album All Eyes on Shice. Okay, so this this is what people are saying, man. That Pooh Shiesty speak publicly for the first time, and they're saying that Pooh Shiesty allegedly robbed and kidnapped Gucci Mane to promote new album, and that's bull crap. You know what I'm saying? But and people is gonna say that because he decided to release his album now, which is not far from the time he had. It is alleged that he had robbed and kidnapped Gucci Mane. You know what I'm saying? But we had discussed that, and he just wanted to, you know, come to some agreement with Gucci Man, even though they had guns. Because why Pooh Shiesty had guns? Because Gucci Man is known as a gangster. Okay, we're all surprised Gucci Man took the safer route by reporting it to the cops. Okay, which should have never happened. So Gucci Man is now a civilian. He ain't no gangster no more. You know what I'm saying? And Pooh Shiesty is the big gangster. And Gucci Man be playing it as if he is some brother who is getting bullied by Pooh Shiesty. You know what I'm saying? Because Gucci Man did a diss track saying that he saying that Pooh Shiesty crash out and is stupid for doing that because he is still under Gucci Man label. And that is just some bitch talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Like some punk talk. Because people are expecting Gucci Man to go slide, you know what I'm saying? And defend the thing as a gangster would. But instead he ran to the police. How punk of a Brewster is that? Gucci Man is a big punk. Big punk. Big ass punk, right? Now he got Pooh Shiesty locked up. Okay? And even though people are speculating that Pooh Shiesty is saying that he had robbed and kidnapped Gucci Man for um clout so he could release this album, and get a lot of attention, which makes no sense. Okay? Because we know the contract is very shady and we're going to reveal that to you very soon. Okay? Now the post continues to read that we don't give a F. This is what Pooh Shiesty said now, right? And he said this in his song, right? On probably not the intro. I think it's one of the song. He spoke some shit at the end of a song, and these are the things he said, right? Um, he said that we don't give a uck about what no nigga gotta say, what no nigga think. They know what's going on. I'ma shake back. Yeah, that's what Pooh Shiesty said. You'll hear him saying in one of his songs on his recent album. Okay, now he's right? Because a gangster should never give a f about what they gotta do, and what Pooh Shiesty did, it's something what he gotta do. And I say this all the time that the court needs to judge the situation fairly for both parties. Okay, now we know Gucci Man, he promoted and he became rich selling a character being a gangster. Okay, which makes him rich. So you can't just do that for so many years and then at the end of it, you now want to go report to the police for the police to come provide their work, right? Amongst gangster issues, right? Gangsters should deal with gangster issues, right? And that is why gangsters don't believe in cooperating with the cops. So Gucci broke the code. Gucci Man broke the code of being a gangster, okay? So he lost. He forfeit. That's forfeiting from the entire thing. That's a big L for Gucci Man, right? Pooh Shiesty never expected Gucci Man to snitch, it seems, or else he wouldn't sign with him, because Pooh Shiesty would never sign to no idiot punk guy because they got some money selling themselves as a facade, right? He would never do that. Now, look what's going on down here, right? Where it says that, okay, let's look into this. So this post here is from College Kid, right? And College Kid Media, where the hashtag Pooh Shiesty has broken his silence. The Memphis rapper spoke publicly for the first time since his recent arrest over allegation that he robbed and kidnapped Gucci Mane to help promote his upcoming album, All Eyes on Shice. College Kid, I think he's a Gucci Man fan, if it served me correct, because I've been taking a lot of his posts to cover on Pooh Shiesty's content on my YouTube and here on Instagram. So if you rewatch or search for my Pooh Shiesty's content before to now, then you may just see that some of my content and posts that I'd used to make those videos are from the same kid here, college kid. So I believe, if my memory serves me right, I think he is a Gucci Man fan. Okay, and I can be wrong. I can be wrong because I've took posts from some Gucci Man fans who are disrespecting Pooh Shiesty, and they do these things to paint a narrative in favor of Gucci Man, so that they hoping that their posts will be used in court to bring down Pooh Shiesty, you know. But that is why it's important these judges and lawyers and jurors have a high level of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about gangster here, right? We expected Gucci Man to be a gangster, and we know that Pooh Shiesty is a gangster. And not because you're a gangster means you should go to prison, because you got good gangsters and you have bad gangsters, right? Okay. And Pooh Shiesty have done serve his time for all his past crimes, right? So now, yeah, so Pooh Shiesty definitely never wanted to hurt or intended to hurt Gucci Man, or else Gucci Man would have been riddled with bullets. You know, Pooh Shiesty just went there in hopes of Gucci Man and, you know, forward into an amicable agreement so that he could see more of his earnings and success and royalties from his music. Okay? And being a gangster, you ain't gonna go to the cops, right? And in the video, you can see clearly when the video that they had released about Pooh Shiesty robbing Gucci Man, in that old video, right? You can see that one of Pooh Shiesty member, he only took out his gun when Gucci Man was approaching him. They never had any guns out pointed at them, right? Until one moment, a particular part of the video where Gucci Man was approaching, right? One of the guys, or he was trying to walk past, but the guy had upped his gun on Gucci Man because his Gucci Man was coming towards him. So it wasn't all that graphic, and you know what I'm saying? It was just Pooh Shiesty make sure that he had enough friends just in case Gucci Man tried to, you know, try to hurt them for wanting to change the contract. You know what I mean? So shout out to Pooh Shiesty for that, because that is a, you know, that is a real big man type of move there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's continue to read this here. We're at addressing right there. So it says, addressing the controversies, Shiesty made it clear he isn't focused on public opinion. We don't give a f about what no nigga gotta say, what no nigga think. They know what's going on. I'ma shake back. The statement marks his first direct response since the allegation surfaced. While the legal case remains ongoing, Shiesty's comment suggests he's staying focused on returning to music despite the headlines surrounding him. His upcoming project, All Eyes on Shice, is still expected to move forward as fans watch. Hold on. As fans watch for updates on both his career and his legal situation. What do y'all think? Will Pooh Shiesty be able to put the controversy behind him and make a successful comeback? Definitely.
It's still going on. We still putting on like cologne, man. This ain't the biggest, man. This is one that's bigger than the program, man. Yeah, it just, ain't shit changed but the environment, man. We got new music on the way. This shit for the fans. This shit for everybody who been waiting. This shit supposed to been out. We don't give a fuck about what no nigga got to say, what no nigga think they know what's going on, especially the internet. Yeah, this shit ain't nothing some small to a giant, man. It's a pebble to a giant, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna shake back. Ain't about how you trip up or how you stumble or how you fall. It's always how you get back up. Everybody can't just get back up like a nigga like. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna shake back. You know that? I'm gonna shake back. You know how this shit go. Tag me and everything. Yeah, go live to this shit. Slide in them car, whatever y'all on. You know what I'm saying? Run this shit up, get us to number one. We got more shit in store. I got this shit overload. I told y'all this shit been ready. Like however this shit gonna go, nigga, you know what the fuck chopping. Big Bird. What the fuck chopping, man,
Big brr. Yeah, so that is why I believe people are saying that it's alleged he said that he robbed and kidnapped Gucci Mane to promote new album just because he said people should ran it up and let it go #1. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, that doesn't prove anything or give any reason for Pooh Shiesty doing what he did to Gucci Man. It's obvious that, as I said, and Pooh Shiesty already made this clear, that his mama wasn't collecting, right, any of his earning much while he was in prison serving the 5 year that he was released on. And this is a message to all of the fans who are saying that Pooh Shiesty is dumb and he's this for just coming out of prison and going back in. And you know what I'm saying? But that is real gangster. It's not about the consequences. Real gangster got to do what real gangster got to do. And Pooh Shiesty, in my view, needed to do that because we've seen a lot of rappers who, it drives them so crazy when they realize the bad deal that they had signed into. You know what I'm saying? No one really reads so many pages of contracts, even though it's been said that it's time for us to read it and think. But I mean, the judge should understand that these people that are issuing contracts to rappers and robbing them, right? This need to sort it out, right? We can't go on in the future with a lot. You have rappers that are suffering, right? You got rappers that are suffering.
This shit still going on. We still putting on like cologne, man.
Okay. So now, when a rapper is struggling and suffering and a contract is presented to them, you're telling me that they should read through so many fine prints? No, they're going to take the opportunity. So the court should be wise and work more in favor of the artists than the ones who produce the contract, because the contract is what we all learn and is taught, and we all know that this is what the devil do: produce and provide contract for people to sign in blood. 360 contract. It's time that we do something about these contract. It's time that these record label and people who are looking forward to signing artists, it's time that they know what and what they are not able to put in these contracts. Okay, there have to be some limit, because apparently it seems that anyone can just present a contract to anyone and saying, okay, I'll give you $15,000 now, but every money you get is mine. Like, we need some organization to start going through these contracts before it reach any artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need some entity right now to help to protect artists from these thieves who are using contract to rob artists blind out of their money and their earnings and royalties. You know what I'm saying? So Gucci Man is definitely the devil here. Okay? Now we need to read into this and what it says here.
Fuck chopping, man. This shit still going on. We still putting on like cologne, man. This ain't the biggest, man. This is one that's bigger than the program, man. Yeah, it just, ain't shit changed but the environment, man. We got new music on the way. This shit for the fans. This shit for everybody who been waiting. This shit supposed to been out. We don't give a fuck about what no nigga got to say, what no nigga think they know what's going on, especially the internet. Yeah, this shit ain't nothing, some small to a giant, man. It's a pebble to a giant, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna shake back. It ain't about how you trip up or how you stumble or how you fall. It's always how you get back up. Everybody can't just get back up like a nigga like. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna shake back. You know that. I'm gonna shake back. You know how this shit go. Tag me and everything. Yeah, go live to this shit. Slide in them car, whatever y'all on. You know what I'm saying? Run this shit up. Get us to #1. We got more shit in store. I got this shit overload. I told y'all this shit been ready. Like however this shit gonna go, nigga, you know what the fuck chopping. Big Bird, know what the fuck chopping, man. This shit still going on. We still putting on like cologne, man. This ain't the biggest, man. This is one that's bigger than the program, man. Yeah, it just, ain't shit changed but the environment, man. We got new music on the way. This shit for the fans. This shit for everybody who been waiting. This shit supposed to been out. We don't give a fuck about what no nigga got to say.
Okay, and all the people that are going at Pooh Shiesty and disrespecting him, They are the foolish ones. And when you have intelligent people in this world, they're the ones who get ridiculed and, you know, is kind of like taken as a fool, because when you have intelligent people around fools, fools won't understand what intelligent people do, right? And remember, there is way more fools than intelligent beings, right? There's way more poor people than rich people. There's way more, all of the things that most people would want to achieve, there's way less, right? There is way more evil people than good people, right? There's way more evil people and good people. And it's not just evil people with guns. You have evil people that use their vehicle as a weapon to do evil, right? They'll just see someone jogging or walking on the roadside, and these evil people don't even know the person, but they just got to bring out and carry out their evil act, and they run their vehicle off the road to hit or run over the person who is jogging that they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So there's so much evil people, and you got to try to place yourself 10, 11, 27 steps ahead of them in this world. You know what I'm saying? And that is why we're seeing Pooh Shiesty surprisingly getting at Gucci Man for his contract to be sorted out. Right? But Pooh Shiesty only went there prepared. Okay? He went there prepared because he knows the history of Gucci Man. That was all it is. It wasn't a case where Pooh Shiesty went there to smack up Gucci Man and pop guns on all their friends and intended to unalive him. So the court should take that in consideration as well. All these things, right? And court should understand that Gucci Man is a known gangster who brags about unaliving other people in his songs for years. So they should treat him as a gangster, someone hardcore, not someone who is an innocent civilian. And the court should also take in consideration that Gucci men only choose to hire gangsters, right? We don't see Gucci men handing out contract to gospel singers. We don't see Gucci men handing out contracts to people that are nice and not known to promote evil. As I said, Pooh Shiesty going at Gucci man, it wasn't any hard, serious crime that we can't look past. We know that he was bounded by some restriction, being on he had been let go and had his parole officer, you know, checking on him, and there were certain rules that he was to abide by. But we understand that this contract thing, right, the shady contract thing that was presented to him by Gucci men could have anyone going mentally insane, especially serving those 5 years in prison and his mom was out not receiving much fun from Gucci man. We know the history with Gucci man and 1017 artists. Pooh Shiesty doesn't want to be like one of those victims to fall by the wayside. And Pooh Shiesty has shown strength and a mental strength, right? Fitness and, perseverance. And we must applaud him. And, I talk about how he is seen more blessed than even the likes of King Von, right? Because we know King Von was bullied before he became a monster. But Pooh Shiesty was born a monster, right? He never got bullied, right? He made his own gang. He don't join gang. He makes them. Go read about him on Google, you know? Yeah, so let's play this here again and put it from top. Okay?